Well, it's time to put together my wind turbine. It is very windy today, and perfect time to put up a wind turbine. The thing is, this is going to require some work. I have to find something to mount this on. The mounting it in a pipe is not going to be the problem. The problem is going to be I'm going to have to get a special bushing for here. I've studied online and found it. Use washers for this, so it doesn't rip up the bottom of the wind turbine. But for now, I'm going to put together the hub assembly and the blades here. So here's my hub. This does require a little bit of work to make this happen. You don't just pop up a wind turbine and live happily ever after. There's a little bit of work involved, and the tower is one of the most important parts of putting together a wind turbine. The tower has to be stable, because if it collapses on you, you lose everything. So I will definitely need help with that. Now, I know how I'm going to do it, and I know what I need to do it. So I've already planned it out. Trust me, I didn't sleep much last night thinking about this. That's all I could think about. Honestly, it's funny, I dreamed about wind turbines all night long, and towers, and how to put this together. So, uh-oh, the hole's not precisely right on. That could be an issue. So I gotta get this put together. Mount the blades. I'm hoping to find a... That's annoying. It's not drilled precise. Hoping to find a way to mount this up temporarily to catch some of this wind we got right now. We got some intense winds going on right now. Well, that's annoying. The holes aren't drilled straight up. Leatherman to the rescue. I swear, these guys should, Leatherman should be paying me. I'm always advertising Leatherman. Yeah. Let's see, is this going to go or is it not? Might be able to get it to go. There we go, maybe. No, the screws are off. The holes are off center from each other. How funny is that? Might have to get out a drill. I hope not all the blades are going to be off like that. It's going to be a serious job if that's the case. Yeah, this is going to require some work. I'm going to shut off the camera so I don't bore you to death. I'm going to put all these blades on. But it's going to take some work cutting the holes to fit. And what I've got here, I've got my garbage bag sitting down here at my feet. And I got tired of trying with that Leatherman. It's just a little too slow for me. Sorry, Leatherman. So I got my drill out. I'm surprised that these are mismatched. So I put in one screw and I tighten it and tighten. Then I can line this up as good as I can and just run this drill through there. Oops, make sure it's straight. Got to widen that hole. This is awkward trying to hold it. Widen that hole. Okay. And then that screw will slip right in. Nice and easy. I would advise not doing this with a cat in your presence. It doesn't help. This one's almost right on. I might be able to get the screw through on this one. Maybe they're not all off. Maybe. Ah yeah, that one worked. They're not all off. Now I'm just doing these finger tight for now to make sure I can get them all on at least in the first place, and then I'll go and tighten them properly. You're supposed to use 2 foot-pounds of torque, they say. I don't think I have a torque wrench that'll measure 2 foot-pounds of torque. I got car mechanics type torque wrenches. That one's off. Only one slipped in so far. The rest of them have to be drilled. Your typical PVC pipe blades. Very common on homebrew generators and eBay generators. I've been studying wind turbine design for a lot of years, and that PVC pipe is a very simple design. These are nicely cut though. Surprised. Surprised these holes don't line up. Quite surprising. Well, starting to look like a turbine. I can't wait to get this installed. That one might line up. Let me see. Almost. Nope, don't want to force it. 1 out of 6 lined up. Oh wait, that one might, I don't know. Nope, it's just a tiny bit off. There's not much tolerance between the screw and the hole in this. So, now it goes. Alright, there's my blades. I don't know if that fits on the screen. There's the blades. Covered in plastic. Alright, now I gotta tighten these down, so I'll be back with you in a minute. Looks pretty cool. So, uh-oh. Gonna have to go out and get a wrench in a minute here. Okay. Now it's taking on some mass here. Okay, there's that. Looking good. They got a long shaft on that. I wonder why it's so long. Okay, I'll have to go outside and use my wrench on that. Tighten that up properly. But, look at that. So, in the tail section, put this aside for a minute. There. Stay. Got the tail section here. tail just slips on. This is a piece of plastic. Okay, it slips in. I'm not seeing the holes. Where is it? Where is the holes? There it is. Okay. Now, I have to find my PVC glue. I haven't used my PVC glue in a couple years, so I have to figure out where it is. That, or I'm going to have to run to the hardware store, because the tail section needs to be glued together. I sure hope I can find that out in the shop. Alright, there's that. Now, this is a two-piece, I don't know if I have this in the camera. This is a two-piece tail section. I don't know if that was in the view or not when I was putting it together. And this is just sitting on there, and this slides in. I have to use PVC cement and glue that together. And then this will screw into the tail of the turbine of the generator. So now for the rest of this, I'm going to have to take this outside because it's getting to be too large for me. But real quick, I'm going to walk this out and see if this is going to spin up in the wind. Very carefully, I'm going to stand out and see what it takes to make that spin, and if the breeze I've got is enough, just out of curiosity. And then I've got to find something to mount that in. I've got pipe, 20-foot high pipe sections, or 20-foot long sections, but I want to mount this for now on something shorter just to get it up for the day, until I can get the real tower mounted professionally. The turbine is spinning up nicely in breezes. It is definitely a low wind turbine, and the thing is spinning like mad. I want to get this up. I want to get this going fast. There's free energy right there, just waiting for me to harness. This is good. Look at that thing spinning. That is just really spinning up nice. I've got a pipe here. I'm just going to create a temporary mount because mounting a full blown tower is going to be too much work right now, and I want to get this power. I want to get this free energy tapped here. So I'm going to cut this big 20-foot pipe in half, and I'm going to mount it out in the middle of the meadow. And got Chris here is going to help me out. Hey Chris. And we're going to put this up together and at least get some power for today. Well, oh, this is awkward. Yeah, okay.
It's not a good place to have your hand.
Yeah, I know. No, spins nicely. I'll have to get the bearings for it later. And I'll have to, I gotta get some wire nuts and line the wire. And I'll have to put the wire down inside. As soon as that wind kicks up.
Are you gonna make sure that doesn't spin in circles? And rip the wire out, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's not supposed to. It's usually will go randomly and go wind and unwind itself over time. Now the wind stops. Isn't that funny? How crazy is that? That's pretty. Well, there it is for now. 10 foot in the air. It's only 10 feet up in the air, but it's facing towards where the wind is always coming from. I still have to run the wiring, but what I've got here is a 3-wire cable running to the RV, and one of the wires was never used, which is now going to be my positive line for the wind turbine, and the ground is going to be a common ground. So the turbine, as soon as I get some wire out here, I'm going to hook that up and we'll be generating some power tonight, hopefully. What do you think, Chris? Are we gonna make it?
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Isn't it funny, the wind stopped as soon as we got it up there. It was blowing like mad when it was sitting on the ground. Oh well, it'll start up again. Well, the turbine is spinning in the wind, and it's spinning a lot more than I expected it would. It is a very sensitive wind turbine. I'm slowing right down now. There comes a gust. Let me go inside and see what it looks like. I've got a voltmeter hooked up inside. I don't yet have it hooked to the battery bank. We're looking at 9 volts. There, refocused. Of course, now the wind stopped. I'm going to watch for a gust of wind to come in. This is just plugged into the voltmeter right now. Nothing else but the voltmeter. So, wait, here comes a breeze. Maybe. Right now the blades are barely spinning. Here we got some power coming out. It's gusty, so it's really sporadic. But anytime it peaks over 12.5, 13 volts, I'm definitely going to be producing power out here. And watching this meter, you can see it's moving up and down quite a bit. So right there's just a gentle little breeze, barely turning. But I'm going to hook this up. I'm going to hook it up to a diode, through a diode into the bus bars back here, and let it charge. There's been a lot of wind today. I wish I could have done this earlier, but you know, you got to take things one step at a time and get the job done. Now the wind has died. If I get a really good wind, I'll pop on the camera. Now I've got my meter sitting here, hooked up to the, I've got everything wired now with the wind turbine, and it all comes in here to the battery bank. Let me refocus. I've got the voltmeter sitting here, connected on the diode before it connects to the battery bank. So I'm just using a alligator clip right now with wire to make the connection temporarily. But I do have the wire coming in. This big thick black wire right down here comes from outdoors in the meadow and runs into the battery box. And I'm using a common ground, so the solar panels are coming into the MPPT charge controller here through the ground wire, and one of the other wires is the positive coming into the charge controller from the solar panels. The third wire on this 3-wire big fat wire that I've got, the third wire is the new wind turbine positive. So the solar panels and the wind turbine are sharing a common ground, and there's then the 2 positive wires, and it seems to be working. Of course, all of a sudden the wind stopped now that I've got my camera going, so I'll come back when the wind blows and we'll see what kind of voltage we got coming in here. Got a gust of wind. It's not much though. That's the voltage before the diode, so it's not pumping any power yet. But that turbine spins up nice and easy. An MPPT charge controller would certainly make a difference on here, because it would take the lower voltages and it would raise the voltage and drop the current and still put charging power into the batteries. So that would make a huge difference here. A wind MPPT controller. So I'll probably end up getting one of those pretty soon. Nope, the wind stopped. Well, anyway, I'll keep an eye on this throughout the evening here. I'm going to leave this all open and just keep an eye on this and see if I get any charging current at all. That is a beautiful sight for an off-grid home. That is nice. Look at that going. Producing power. That's only 10 foot in the air. When I get that up higher, when I get it 20 foot high, it's going to produce even more power. And if I could get even higher, better, but for now, I'll be happy with 20 feet in the air. I think it'll really supplement my power here. because when the sun is not shining in the winter, there's a lot of wind here. Again, you can see it's gusty. See, the blades are slowing down, but it's 24/7 gusting winds. There, it stopped for a minute. That's going to help.